So most of you, unless you was hiding under a rock, have seen the clips, have seen all the commentary from myself included about the melee, the altercation, or whatever that happened at the 7-on-7 event in Atlanta. I believe it was Sunday, okay? Well, Cam Newton has come out on his channel, Cam Newton on YouTube, and put clips on 4th and 1, his secondary channel, his podcast channel, right? And he's giving his side of the story about what happened that Sunday. So we're going to get into it. It's a video. I'm going to react to it. No more wasting time. Thank you and welcome to Normieville.
I can't say anymore. I'm probably already in trouble for mentioning it to a, well, we call you normies.
So, again, he had an hour-long podcast like he does every week. He had beginning topics. Of course, 4th down, he has 4th and 1. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now he's addressing the fight in question, all right? This is going to be a long reaction, so I will leave a link to the podcast in the description box if you want to watch it without interruption for you. Stop pausing the video, ninjas. For all of you, let the video play, ninjas. I will leave a link to it in the description box so you can watch it without my commentary. If you are still here, thank you for your viewership. Because this is a YouTube video and I have to transform it for transformation and commentary purposes, things of that nature per YouTube guidelines, I gotta say fair use. So before we get to it, fair use. And I will leave you to decipher what he's doing here, all right? Because I watched a little bit of it myself, and two things are going on here. Either one, he has something to do with this fight taking place, so he's actually sincerely apologizing, or B, because he's the bigger name, he's the bigger brand, he wants to keep respect on his name, he's going to take the L or fall on the sword, if you will, okay? Because he did apologize in here. And, well, I'll leave my opinion about it to the end. But without further ado, let's get to it.
The time has come, Fed.
No, the time has come.
Finally!
What we got, Cam? It's called what?
Newton's Law. We got to get some
Straightening.
why don't you say some straightening? Let's get a better understanding of the situation.
A better understanding of the situation.
Okay.
I like how you're using your words, brother, because just like everybody in the world, I want to know, we want to know, we all want to know,
Yes, sir.
what happened with Cam?
First off, before I bring full context to the story, it's important that there's a backstory to this.
Okay.
Now, for y'all that don't know, have never saw his podcast, I think that's his producer, his video guy in the background that speaks to him. In the back, you don't see him, but he asks him questions and helps moderate Cam Newton through the topics, even though he's doing his podcast by himself. This guy helps him, you know, navigate the podcast, if you will. I have a production company myself. It's called Me, Myself, and I.
Oh, so it's more to the story.
Yes, then you think. I know and knew exactly who that was.
Okay.
They were former coaches up under my organization, C1N.
Okay.
So we have tenure. There was a lot of different clips that was going on, kids jumping on Cam. These were coaches. These were grown men.
Okay, former coaches of yours.
Former coaches.
Okay.
Correct. I think it was 2018. You know, when they first came around, TJ first came first to the organization, and then Steph came, I think, the following year or the second year.
Yeah.
And anybody who knows me, I use football as my way of giving back to the community, right? From camps to tournaments to many other things. And how they began their involvement to the program is just like anybody else. It's not just Steph and TJ, but it was multiple people, coaches, players who have been involved that I just let them come.
Okay, so he's giving a backstory to how he knows these two guys, Steph and TJ, right? But like he said in the very beginning, these weren't teenagers or other, I guess, athletes that were in this melee. All those guys you saw in those clips that have been circulating around that, you know, I put down myself, those weren't children. So I have to apologize for that too. Because some people said there was, myself included, thought those were other teammates on his team, the young men that were in the melee with Cam. But these were other grown men that was in this altercation with Cam Newton. So I got to clarify that as well.
Just like, yo, like, come be a part.
It's like an open door policy.
It's an open door. I will never tell you not to come type shit. You see what I'm saying? And I think over the years, their roles expanded because they just kept, showing up, and they were impacting the kids, building great relationships. And also how it morphed was this. When I was in the NFL, I never had time to actually show face to the actual kid events. Okay. Meaning, like, during my football season, I didn't have time to pull up to the high school football games.
Correct.
I didn't have time to really show face at practice, at some of the kids' practice.
Yeah, that's understandable.
So I would assign that to my coaches or my staff members. Hey, we need to show face. We need to show support. We need to keep in contact with the parents. We need to keep in contact with the players. You guys let me know what I need to do. This is bigger than football, ladies and gentlemen. And this is why I say it takes a village. So, for example, one of our parents or a parent may call you. It's sad to say, but if we just being honest, a lot of our kids are being raised in single parent households. So our coaches.
This is true. A lot of the children that he probably coaches and that other teams in this league coach are probably single mother raised young men. And so his coaches or being pseudo father figures for these children, i.e. mentorship, i.e. advice, and things of that nature that a father would give to a young man. This is true. And like I said, also these guys have been with Cam for a while before they went on their individual ventures. Context.
Serve as father figures to these kids. Our coaches serve as male positive role models for these kids. Mm-hmm. A lot of our coaches have been where these players are trying to go. Correct. So it's natural for them meaning coaches and staff members, to build real relationships with the players. Correct. So yes, they were a part of that program of C1N, and that's where the familiarity
came from. Okay. So then, like, I know you, right? And I know that you're competitive. C1N is competitive. 7-on-7 is competitive.
Yes, sir.
You're competitive as it is. So I know Cam, and I know your competitive spirit and your trash talk. Like, you gonna talk shit. That's just you. Like, you joke. You talk shit to me. You gonna talk shit to everybody. Like, right. You gonna. That's you. But I never known you to be violent. So, like, even like on or off the field, anything like that, it's like, so what really led to this? If you knew these guys, and what led to this?
I think that's a part of sports. You play tennis, you play golf, you play basket weaving, you play cricket, you play whatever sport. Obviously, football is a very physical sport. Now, people may say, what is 7-on-7? Okay. Right? 7-on-7 is a pass-centric football game that it's not physical, it's just whatever. And it's all in the game. Like, verbal communication is what people use to distract, to deter, to get in another person's head, right? And there was a lot of talking on both sides. Okay. On all sides. And let's just put it like that. So I don't wanna point the finger and say, well, this person said this or that person said that. It's all in the nature of sports.
Okay. All right. So again, Cam Newton is using very coded and corporate language here, which I think is smart. He doesn't want to throw anybody on the bus because, to me, at this point, it's clear that Cam has some responsibility in this situation. So he's not trying to throw anybody on the bus. He's trying to take responsibility for his side. And I assume eventually, like I said in this video, he's going to apologize, all right? But as some of the accounts were saying that Cam was talking, with some noise, well, it seems like those accounts are true. Cam was talking some noise. So was TJ and Steph. They were talking noise on their end. And maybe this thing it was just an unfortunate situation where two groups were talking mess, talking noise, and it went a little too far. Let's listen some more.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And am I saying that this is the first time it happened or the last time it will happen? It's just something that it starts with words and it should have ended with words.
Okay.
That's it. And I think I'm disappointed in myself by letting it escalate to what it did.
Uh-huh.
And that's why I'm apologetic to it. I've seen clips on clips on clips. I've seen, the content that they put out or whatever. The truth of the matter is this. Me being in my position, I should have never put myself in that position. That's just the truth. Because even then, it's like, that shit could have got ugly. Like, for real. It could have. And that's why I'm trying to bring the seriousness to this situation. Like, we can laugh about it. We can play, and I will always try to bring humor into something that's lighthearted, but this is a serious situation that I even seen a clip that said, like, people are laughing, but they weren't laughing about Nipsey.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Or call it what you want. It's like, what if serious injury would have happened on either side?
Yeah.
Something happened to me, something happened to them. Now, my 8 children are fatherless now.
Well, yeah, I gotta say, you got a lot of kids, Cam.
Somebody needs to pay for all my children.
8 children, but he's right. If something bad had happened, this could have went way left, and he'll explain more about the what ifs here in a minute. But like I said, Cam is the bigger brand. It seems like he's being the bigger person in the situation. And as you saw on the radio show, the video I posted a couple of days ago, TJ and Steph went on 105.3 The Beat, and they gave their apology to the people that were affected, the fans, the parents, other staff members, the children, the athletes themselves, and whoever else. And I don't think they really apologized to Cam, but they kind of said the same thing that Cam's saying right now. Well, it really shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have got to that point. And because of that, it was an embarrassing moment for everybody that was involved. So Cam is giving proper context how he knows these gentlemen, the 7-on-7 event, how these guys came into their own, so to speak. And he's taking ownership for his part in the situation. As you heard earlier, he said that people were talking on both sides, no trash talking for whatever reason. It is a part of the game. I agree. I played sports before. I played football, basketball, all that. Even at work, trash talking is usually a part of competition between anybody, men and women, okay? So let's listen.
Because now I'm being sued. Now I got something. It's just bigger than what they say, don't make a rational judgment in the heat of the moment.
What?
And there's times where that wasn't even the worst that I've been through. You see what I'm saying? Like, I've rendered my time, and people think, like, why is Cam doing this? It's like, no, I cannot. I owe a due diligence. I owe a service to the kids to say, like, hey, if I see Cam, this is my opportunity to touch him, to talk to him, to laugh with him, to, compete with him.
Yeah.
This is the only time that they may see somebody. So dare I say I'm not going to ever do it again, but I just let that situation escalate in a way that I didn't. So it didn't need to happen.
So you said escalate, right? And so what could you, or how could you have handled that situation differently instead of letting it escalate?
Man, it's so many different things that could have been done, right? First off, I went rogue, Peg.
Not rogue.
I scrambled, and I should have just stayed
in the
pocket, bro. You feel me? But this is what I really want the narrative to be.
Well, of course, there's a lot of small talk. Again, I have to pause this for various purposes, all right? But again, Cam is using very coded language, very corporate jargon here to say that, I can really get into the details of everything that happened, but I'm not going to, because it doesn't even matter at this point who said the first word, who threw the first punch, whatever. It really doesn't matter at this point because it's gotten out of control. Everybody's talking about it, including Normieville, right? So I need to go ahead and put this to bed. Apologize, whatever I have to do, make peace with the situation and move on because, like I said in other videos, Cam is going to have to compete with this team again at some point. He knows these gentlemen personally. So he's eventually going to compete with these guys again. So really everybody involved, including TJ and Steph, everybody has to squash the thing and just say, you know what? We all collectively made a mistake. And we got to get past this. That way we continue on and let the league and let this be about the players and not this altercation because we're going to see each other again. We don't want the narrative to be, oh, well, they're going to see each other again. What's going to happen now, right? Because that will be the narrative if everybody doesn't just, let this cool off, everybody apologize and, kumbaya, whatever they got to do. Let's listen.
To every single high school player, to every single person of influence, to every single athlete, use my situation as a way to understand that in one moment, in one decision, your life can change. Just like that. And I let my emotions get the best of me. And it should not have been called for. Mm-hmm. Simple. And with that, I apologize to anybody affected. That's Steph, that's TJ, that's their organization, that's C1N, my organization, that's my players, my parents, my staff members. And when you really debrief from days after it, it really puts things into perspective. And I tell you this, my president of my program, Kendall Ogle, person who I have high regards for, he called me, and even though he was empathetic to understanding where I was coming from, he simply said, Cam, that cannot happen.
And on that note, I will conclude this reaction. I've actually seen this whole thing, and after he makes his apology, he goes in to talk about people that helped him after the situation, that stayed in his corner and kept him encouraged and things of that nature. And the meat of this is the apology he just gave. But as you can see, he was very respectful with his apology. He didn't come out and throw anybody under the bus. He didn't expose anybody or any situation, any words or whatever that happened during that situation. He just simply said, we let our emotions, emotions and thoughts and words get the best of us. And a situation occurred that should not have happened. It was unfortunate, and I apologize. And like I said, Cam is being the bigger man here. I fully respect that. Do I think he started? I don't think there was a person. The way Cam is explaining this, there's no one person necessarily started. Now, I've gotten comments where people have said, well, there's videos where, these guys were talking noise. Well, according to Cam Newton, that happened on both sides. I haven't seen all the footage of the events that occurred leading up to the altercation. Anybody in the comment section, feel free to, put it in the comment section, send me some links or something like that, where I can view it and I can post it so that way people have a clear view of both sides of the situation. But Cam right here is saying that, essentially both of us were at fault, but I'm going to take responsibility for my part in it, and I apologize to everyone. All right? So, like I said, I respect it. He didn't be belligerent. He was very educated and very poised in his response. And I got nothing for respect for that, okay? Me personally, I like Cam Newton. He's an Auburn alum now, but he played in Alabama. He was part of Carolina Panthers when they won MVP. I was a Carolina Panthers fan myself because of Cam Newton. And I still like Cam Newton as a player, as a former player. And actually, I still kind of low-key like the Panthers because of him, all right? So, I respect the apology. Hope you do too, and I hope you got some out of this video, all right? On that note, thank you for attending another episode of Normieville. You know me, I'm just Normie, here to bring you the latest and greatest in sports news, entertainment, and politics. Let me know what you think about this apology and Cam Newton's explanation of the situation down in the comment section. And please, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell on your way out of the door. And I will see you on the next video.